both teams dug, I guess you would say, played pretty good defense. Our guys, I thought, did a very nice job on their interior game. Mader only had 2 points, and Hornseth, I think, had 3. The kid who hurt us was Burton, the little left-handed perimeter player that put up 18 on us. But offensively, we were not executing very well, and we really only had 2 guys on the offensive end of the floor that showed up and really did a job. And that, Drew had 20 the first half and came out and only took 2 shots the second half and made them both. Finished with 26, and Casey Jaco played real big down the stretch for us and contributed 13 points. But as a team, we only got off 14 shots in the second half, and I think we had 7 turnovers. So it was not a very pretty ball game. But anytime you can win a ball game when you play bad on the offensive end, well, you'll take a W, and that was against a quality team.
One guy that's been playing very well for you as of late, and really your kind of ball player, my kind of ball player, a real blue-collar worker, doesn't get his name in the books because of scoring, is Andy Moline. Did a whale of a job here, a week ago against Ian Wade, and last night again. I thought he might have had his best game, actually, against Oshkosh North. Some of his look-away passes and his passing game inside was just outstanding. This is a kid, like I say, blue-collar worker, is not going to get the recognition for his scoring, but just a yeoman's job.
Well, and last night, had you seen the ball game, you would have said, hey, he gets a game ball for the defensive job that he did on their big people. He grabbed 9 rebounds, and as we mentioned, Mader and Hornseth combined for only 5 points, and I think as far as a 1-2 combination in the post, those 2 guys present the most problems of any in the league. So Andy's been doing that consistently for us all year long, and we need him to do that. He understands that that's his role. As you mentioned, he's not going to put a lot of points on the board. He does the dirty work. He screens, he rebounds, he defends.
Dick, there are a number of kids on this basketball team, and when you talk about team, that make the Fond du Lac Cardinals go, and these are the guys that the top 5, 6, 7 have to work against in practice, and they don't get many name mentions. They might come in a little bit of mop-up duty down the end of a blowout game or something of that nature, but probably more important to your team than, well, your starters, if they don't have anybody to work against in practice, just aren't going to be that good.
It's absolutely crucial that you have players that put that kind of effort in and night out. And, I really feel for them, and my hat's off to them. They're the ones who really have the courage and the character, because in today's society, you don't find many kids that would be willing to make the commitment, have the dedication, put the hours in, and not get to play, basically.
And the recognition for the crowd.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And these kids are really class kids, and we've been blessed in our program, and I've been blessed to have been able to coach great kids that don't play, that maybe the public doesn't really know about. But I have more respect for those kids than I do the stars that come through the program.
I just wanted to make sure we mentioned a number of them.
Our seniors is where it really starts, and that's where, as a senior, to be out there, and this is, been your basketball career, and you've wanted to play ever since you're however old you are, and to still be hanging in there and being a leader. We've got 2 guys that really give us a lot of leadership in practice and in the locker room prior to games, firing people up, and on the bench. And those 2 guys are Jacob Brandow and Ryan Blaine, are 2 guys that are just, basically the heart and soul of our basketball team. And they do it every night in practice. And Sean Bratz made our club this year, and he's a senior. He's another guy that's, out there doing it every night. And as far as juniors, we've got Steve Falk. We have Brad Reinke, who is he's a nice player, and he's really shown a lot of improvement in practice. And we've been working him with the top group, getting him in the mix. I really think that Brad is going to, if not start next year, play a lot next year. The kid can shoot. He works hard. He's a great kid. We have, of course, Jerome Allen, who made our squad this year. He's a junior. He was on the JV team last year, and another kid that's just real solid. You know, one thing about all our kids, if you combine the grade point average of all 15, it's something like 3.3 or 3.4, and I think out of the 15 of them, there's like 13 or 14 of them at least that are on the honor roll. They're good, solid kids, and that makes it easy for a coach. And of course, I'd be remiss not to mention Nate Stoik's a senior, who was cut last year as a junior, and you know, he had as a goal to make this club, and he worked in the off season, and he's been a real inspiration for us and a real pleasure to be able to coach him. So those guys, as I say, we try to give them, as far as coaches, give them recognition, and I try to show them how much I appreciate them, you know, in practices and after the game. And I think our guys that do play definitely realize the importance of the white team guys, and you know, they'll, you know, let them know how much they mean to them. So yeah, these guys are special guys, and you know, anybody can go out and be on a team if they're playing. You know, that's easy, you know, but when you're getting slivers and not playing, that can be very difficult, and that's when it really takes someone with a lot of character and a lot of loyalty, and these guys certainly have it.
Now, we got everybody here, right? We didn't miss anybody? Just making sure. I think we got everybody there.
Well, you've got the list in front of me there,
yeah.
And yes.
Yes, I think we covered everybody. So
that would be the worst thing to ever
yes.
miss somebody. Yeah.
Need to bounce back here tonight, Appleton North Lightning. Maybe the kids were looking a little bit ahead. You know, you sit down, put a schedule in front of you, and I don't care what to say. You're gonna put little red dots around certain games that maybe are meaningful to you, and then maybe the North Lightning game just seemed to mean more to the kids than Appleton East for whatever reason.
Well, I don't think they do that, you know, because the one team we played last night, on paper anyway, you know, was a much better team than this team is tonight. But this team tonight, you know, played us right down to the wire. It was under a minute left in the game, and it was a 2-point game. So this team is rugged inside. They have two real tough physical post players that like to bang. And then this Maves kid is a real fine perimeter guy, so we better be ready tonight.
Dick Diener, the head basketball coach of the final at Goodrich Cardinals. Before I let you go, as always, the starting five for tonight's game.
Well, again, we'll go with Corey Higgins, Andy Rose, Casey Jekyll, Andy Moline, and Drew Diener.
And we're going to be right back with the starting lineups then for both clubs as well, right after this on your Final Act Cardinal Basketball Report. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Dancing on.
Well, I thought that we were going to be able to take a commercial break there, but we cannot, as they're about ready to introduce the starting lineups here tonight. And I guess Dick and I just got a little too long-winded there. Let's take it down below in the starting lineups for tonight's game.
Let's begin with the introduction of the players, starting with Appleton. Number 11, Nick Day. Number 13, John Laws. Number 15, David Ledden. Number 23, Joe Stotts. Number 33, Scott Dario. Number 41, Tim Kemps. Number 51, Matt Weinberg. And number 55, Kyle Butt. And for Final Act Cardinals, number 3, Steve Falk. Number 5, Dan Schrum. Number 12, Dallas Diener. Number 13, Brad Reinke. Number 20, Jacob Brando. Number 24, Sean Bratz. Number 25, Mike Koenigs. Number 33, Ryan Blaine. Number 44, Jerome Allen. And 00, Nate Stoics. And now for the starting lineup, starting with Appleton, number 21, Gus Maves. And for our Cardinals, number 4, Casey Jacob. For the Lightning, number 35, Ryan Brown. And for our Cardinals, number 10, Corey Higgins. For Appleton, number 43, Adam Wunderlich. And number 21 for Fond du Lac, Drew Diener. For Appleton, number 45, Brian Bauer. And for Final Act 32, Andy Rose. For Lightning, number 53, Joe Hippis. And 34 for our Cardinals, Andy Moline. Appleton is coached by Bill Miller, Dan Kasler, Mick Gilbert, and Bob Meyer. And the Cardinals, Dick Diener, Mike Shaver, Jim Sievert, Roger Springboard, and Marty Craig.
And there you do have the starting lineups for tonight's action. The second game of the weekend here in the home court for the Final Act Cardinals, disposing of crosstown Appleton foe last night. The Patriots of Appleton East in a, well, game that we termed that they escaped with a win, and I think that's exactly what happened. Far from one of their better efforts, but to look to rebound, and I would strongly suspect that tonight they will be a different team here in the court and come out with a lot more enthusiasm for the game than they really showed last night, as especially on the offensive side. Defensively, they played pretty well, I guess. Offensively, it's very stagnant and just had very little movement.
Well, let's hope they come out a little bit more fired up than the crowd here tonight, Mike, because there's not much of that to be had, especially student body. I think the lightest student body crowd that we have seen here all year. I don't know what else is going on. I know that there's something on over the little theater, and I don't know if there's some kids that are involved in that or not, but boy, one of the smaller crowds we've had in this Redbird Arena all season. And not good when you got a team that's fighting for a conference championship. At any rate, I'm going to drill everybody a little bit more on that as the game. Well, we had a
Ball away from the ball here. I believe they're going to get Jaco. Is that right? Nope.
Andy Rose.
Andy Rose down low at the post.
Be ready to hear a lot of whistles here tonight. We've got one of those crews that, and they've started out already. Little token of pressure applied here now by Corey Higgins in the backcourt as Gus Maines will bring it across the timeline. Comes around to the right side to Ryan Brown. He's played there by Drew Diener. They get it down low to the big man underneath. That's Brian Bauer, 6'5", senior center. Turns, hits one off the glass.
Oh, just a simple slide down the paint and a little give and go action to get it right back inside and get the easy two.
Higgins again across the timeline. Here's the mallet. Moline comes down. Drew Diener off of the baseline, hit the side of the backboard. That might have been blocked. I think it was tipped. And outlet pass way down court. Cheating on the break is Joe Hippis to lay it in. Transition game.
He missed it.
Did he miss it?
Yes.
You know, I got that rail right there, and I thought I saw the net waffle. I'll take that back. So it remains 2-0. How did he miss that?
Well, a little intimidation defensively. I think it was Jaco that went up there and got up above the rim, and that's probably what you saw up there was his hand.
I saw the net ripple, and hey, right, they get it down low here to Andy Moline under the bucket, can't hit it. He got trapped down low underneath.
And he got Rose
and
quickly.
Andy Rose with his second personal foul.
And quickly, Danny Schrum off the Pines, and Rose is having the kind of luck to start out tonight that he had all night last night. Not so much foul, but nothing would work for him.
Valentine Massacre weekend. Man. And the token pressure applied here by Corey Higgins in the backcourt, and Gus Maves easily works it up. And, oh my. They call this on Higgins? Yep.
Yeah. I told you when I saw him walk in.
Oh, I realized it too when I saw him. It could be a long night. It's a good thing this game started on time. Ball tipped away, picked off by Danny Schrum. And Drew Diener with a long tray ball off the front of the rim. It will not go. Cleared by Hippis. Outlet pass to Mays. Quickly up into the forecourt. Stops. Gives it to Wunderlich. Wunderlich around to the left side to Ryan Brown. Ryan Brown as they loop it down low here to Drew Diener. Diener working it back out across the timeline. Tricky dribbles the basketball. Had to. Lost the handle on it there for a moment. Nice recovery by Drew D. Corey Higgins. Henry Higgins, he looks down low, then pops it back out and reloads it. Gonna reload one more time now. Drew Diener, 17-footer on the way. It's good. Got a shooter's touch on that one.
Right, just kissed off the front of the rim and had the rotation on it that takes it lightly off the glass and down. Knocks the game up at 2-all at 5:18 to go here in the first.
So the East Patriots, or East Patriots,
Now you
North Lightning.
They're going to get Higgins again. No, going the other way this time, offensively.
Offensive foul off the ball on Brian Bauer. You're going to have to play a no-touchy game here tonight. And Higgins will come back up. Moline around to the left side. Schrum, the Jackal, fall-away jumper there from 12, won't go. Cleared by Adam Wunderlich.
Lightning last night played Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts and played pretty tough. Lost by, I believe, 7 points. And Kaukauna, of course, as you know, co-sharing the conference lead at this point with the Fond du Lac Cardinals. 4:47 to go here in the first quarter of action from the Redbird Arena. A slow start offensively for both teams, all knotted up at 2-all.
And you got to wonder about that schedule, Mike. And every team has had to do it. Fond du Lac earlier in the season had back-to-back road games. But as a coach, I don't believe that you can like that at all. Running one-hander here is good for Brian Brown to get home late, you know, and have a game again the next day. And if the rest of the teams are anything like Fond du Lac, coaches, they go through a walkthrough on the Saturday when they have the Saturday game. This shot blocked out of bounds will go back to the Cardinals. Not as bad, of course, when you're playing back-to-back home games. But when you got to go on the road 2 nights in a row, wow. Rooting in the Jackal.
Casey able to slide inside, just inside the low block on the left. That shouldn't happen against an inbounds pass when they were in a zone off defensively.
Casey with his first bucket of the game. Swinging around right side. Here's Ryan Brown. He does the skip pass to Maves on the near side sidewalk. 3:44 here in the quarter. Maves looked inside. Skipped back out to Brian Bauer. Can't hit the shot. The mallet goes up to grab it. And Corey Higgins will come back up. Got a pick from Schrum. Comes off on the left side here to Casey Jekyll, and a blocking foul. Going to be the call either on Brown or Wunderlich.
Wunderlich will get it, Dave.
That's exactly what it will be. Wunderlich with his first personal.
Yeah, he's shaking his head a little bit, but that one was a foul. He kind of cut off the baseline just enough to enable the Cardinals to work it a little bit, and then try to later slide down a little bit closer. And once you've established, you can't move at that point.
Dave Ludden is up off the pines into the ball game here for Appleton East. And Mike Koenig's in as well for the Cardinals, and Mike Koenig breaks free out high and comes down and hits the layup.
Well, that's the second time the Cardinals on the inbounds underneath their own basket were able to break free for an easy layup. Head coach Bill Miller cannot be happy about that.
Wunderlich as they come down inside here. And it's shot blocked. Rebound comes off to Hitbus and make that Kyle Butt. Kyle Butt with the shot from in the paint can't hit it. And here come the Cards back up. Koenigs. Casey Jekyll. Dan Schrum. Here's Koenigs once again, back hole high. Onto the left side, Drew Diener looking in. Jackknife J there, pancake job, would not go down. Andy Moline clears and reloads it. Diener. Schrum on the near side sidewalk. And look down at the low post to Moline, can't go. They'll reload, come back outside, left side sidewalk to Mike Koenig. Drew Diener. Diener. Pick and roll here to Casey Jekyll off the baseline. No tap by Andy Moline is gone.
Oh, Moline for the second night in a row just hanging around that basket doing damage for the Cardinals. Likewise, Mike Koenig's getting a pretty early call tonight's game at that point guard spot. Played extensively last night. Probably played more than Corey Higgins, actually.
And the ball's stolen away. I believe Andy Moline got a piece of the basketball and tipped it into the hands of Casey Jekyll. 8-4 the score. Cardinals out in front. Moline, hole high. Left side, Danny Schrum. The Strummer off of the baseline. Jekyll's shot is blocked out of bounds. Will go back to the Cardinals. Brian Bauer and Adam Wunderlich both back to the Pines, and back in Brown and Joe Hippes for the North Lightning. Cardinals pop it out here to Koenigs. Drew Diener looked at a tray ball there, got a pick from Moline. He rolls down the lane, can't go to him. Give it back out to Strum. They lost the ball on the baseline out of bounds.
Strum thought Drew was going to pop out, and Drew
instead was flashing towards the low
basket.
post. Yep. 1:22 to go here, first quarter of action. Boy, congratulations to the North Fond du Lac Orioles. Very nice upset last night, Mike, defeating the Marquezan Hornets and moving into a tie for first place in the conference. Three-way tie in the Flyway Conference.
Yeah, who would have thought the way the season unfolded at the beginning that the Orioles would put together the run they have. Randy Gorski's just done an outstanding job with that team, and they've really responded.
You know, we saw flashes of it, Mike, earlier in the year. But you didn't know if it was all going to come together or not. Schrum, skip pass, Koenig, looked at the shot, turned it down, comes out high post now to hit to Jekyll. And again, they reload. Koenig, Schrum. North playing pretty tough man-to-man and getting a lot of double-ups here, Mike, and now a reach-in foul.
I believe it's going to be David Ludden getting the foul on the reach. North Fond du Lac girls basketball team also clicking away. As we said during your telecast this past week up there, basketball is alive and well in North Fond du Lac. Both the guys and the gals having outstanding seasons.
Drew Diener, Jekyll, off of the baseline. Nice speed from Drew Diener.
Yeah, Drew gets up there as to go for the shot, but that's his court awareness. Saw Jekyll down on the block all alone and just shoveled it down low.
You know, you had real excellent success actually the last 2 years now, Mike, with the North Fond du Lac gals. And success can breed success, you know.
Oh, well, look at the Fond du Lac Cardinals program.
Exactly. Well, I'm talking that it boiled over to the guys program. And a rebound off the missed shot pulled down by Andy Moline. Now if they can only get that success.
3 on the way.
Won't go, and that'll be the end of the first quarter of action.
Well, the Cardinals here in the first quarter are able to, after a very slow start no scoring at all early in this game, but they finally are able to knock, go on an 8-2 run to extend their lead 10-4 here at the end of one quarter.
Now, because I got an interview at halftime, I want to tell you that, of course, this is the symbol. Maybe you better give me that thing. This is the symbol of the Wisconsin sports fan that I am going to try and put on my head here. And that being the good old cheesehead hat here. The backed off and upper still too close, huh? Symbol of the Wisconsin sports fan. We lose it. And down off the floor camera, Bob. Well, it should have looked a lot more like this one here. And I'm not going to really have the time to finish it. That's the way it should have looked. More like a good old stick of Baker string cheese. Now, only 79 calories in each stick. That's Baker string cheese, the official halftime snack food of the video sports team. Available at fine food stores everywhere.
And as we get started here in the quarter, a quick foul here whistled on Andy Moline for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Lightning will once again inbound the ball.
Gus Maves comes back and nails one here, and it's a 10-7 basketball game.
That was a three?
Three-pointer. And a blocking foul back on the other end on Ryan Brown. Fourth team foul there on the North Lightning. Casey Jekyll. Schrum, circle high to the right side. Comes off right side sidewalk to Koenig. Skip pass, they swing between the two rings here to Dan Schrum. Free the line extended. Back out. Mike Koenig once again. They had Jekyll up to the high post. I tell you, the Lightning, Mike, are sticking to the Cardinals like glue here defensively. It's been tough to get any offense going. And a nice move by Casey Jekyll, who shakes off his man, then steps inside and gets the 2 inside.
And remember, Jaco coming off a week of very little to any practice, had some back problems during the week and did not get much practice prior to last night's game. So it might be a little bit rusty, but I'm sure with last night's action, he's back in shape again.
Again, I believe it was Moline got a piece of the basketball and tipped it into the hands of Casey Jekyll. Drew Diener right down the lane had it knocked away. But they'll call a foul.
Quickly here, let me give a glance at the first quarter stats before we get running away from it. Cardinals shot 42%. They were 5 for 12. The Lightning 33% on 2 for 6 shooting. Cardinals missed the one and only 3-point shot of the first quarter of action. Fondy doubles up the board, leads it 6-3. 2 turnovers for Fond du Lac, and Appleton North with 5.
Running one-handed there would not go down, and they're going to call Moline over the back. So that'll be team foul number 5. Here's a little Texas up off the lines as Moline will come out. Anthony's got his second.
And his first action of the weekend did not get in last night's game.
What did I ever do with my hat here, by the way? Before I lose that thing.
Got it? Down there?
Yeah. That ain't right. Left side coming off into the lane is Wunderlich. Leave it out of the coffin corner to Ryan Brown with a tray ball, and they are back to within 2.
Well, they come out here and hit 2 consecutive trays to start the second quarter out.
And it's stolen away now by Wunderlich. Took it away from Mike Koenigs. I got a chance to take a lead here with a 3. 5:42 remaining. And it's not that the Cardinals are not playing well, folks. It's Appleton. I said this at the outset. Appleton North going to be a very dangerous basketball team because they're about middle of the road, and it's just a great big feather in their cap if they could come away with a win over one of the top teams.
Danny Schrum gets the personal foul. 6th team, his first.
Wunderlich on the right side. Gus Maves to Brown. Circle high left. Cardinals in a rare zone defense here off that inbounds pass. Outside tray ball by Gus Maves would not go. Jekyll goes up to get it. Higgins. Drew Diener gonna stop and pop. Tray ball gone.
Diener's so adept at that off the dead run to pull up and pop at 3-point line. That's a tough shot to hit. He does it consistently.
15-10 score, your KFC score that is. Here in the first half of action with just under 5 minutes remaining. And the ball stripped free by Drew Diener. Lead feed to Casey Jekyll running one-handed.
Cardinals quickly back up to a 7-point lead at 17-10.
And score 5 in a row. Casey there with his 8th point of the basketball game. Maves around on the right side, coming off into the lane, leaves him down the skip. Feed outside, shot won't go. They'll reload. Maves cut off on the baseline, gives it to the big guy. Hidfus going to turn and go down over the top. There of Schrum. Shot won't drop. Rebound to Jekyll. Outlet pass. Here comes Dan Strum. Strummer leaves it back out now for Corey Higgins. And Higgins, little Texas here to the left side sidewalk. Jekyll going to stop, pop, 14-footer there, will knock it out. Rebound cleared down and away to Adam Wunderlich. And Wunderlich will come back up. 3:52 here in the half. Been a quick first half, haven't been as many fouls as I maybe thought there would be.
Well, we've had 11 called. That's a fair amount.
Fair amount, yeah.
For this time of the game.
And
Make it 12.
Make it 12. They just called that one on Casey Jekyll. A very late call, and quite frankly, a very unnecessary call. The ball gets knocked away and out of bounds by Casey. And frankly, you just give the, wow. You know, we talked about this, Mike, with officials being told that you don't make a call that does not make a difference in a play. Well, there was one right there. And off to the free throw line will go Adam Wunderlich. Scoreless in the basketball game. He's going to shoot a 1+1 here. (17-10) your KFC score. Wunderlich got the first.
Holland Carpentry and Repair, providing quality remodeling and complete home repairs to the area for the past 16 years. Call 921-6493.
Second one won't go. Schrum had to chase it down. He almost lost it OB. Higgins comes back up. Corey now going to take it right down the lane. Called a reach-in foul here on Adam Wunderlich. His second, 6th team. Common foul still. Cardinals will inbound. Oh, what a win this afternoon by the Wisconsin Badgers. Got it in here to Danny Schrum. He missed the shot. Rebound cleared. Strummer got it back and goes back and puts it down off the glass.
Good job by Dan Schrum right there. Missed the puppy inside, but stayed with it and got the second chance opportunity. Put it down.
Matt Weinberg on the left side sidewalk. Here's Wunderlich. His shot won't drop. Casey Jekyll with a rebound. 19-11 the score.
Fun Luck Girls instantly winners here this afternoon over Appleton North.
Well, and what a way to win it, Mike.
Yep.
Hitting a three-pointer at the buzzer to go from 1 point down to a win. Schrum running one-hander on the baseline. It's gone. And the Cardinals, I understand, went down 14-0.
And then came back and scored 15 straight.
Right. After pulling the starters. He pulled all 5 starters, Chuck Schutte here this afternoon. And the reserves brought him back. Outside, Wunderlich, hole high, shot won't go. We got a foul underneath. Call it on Higgins. Yep. Higgins with his second personal. So Moline, Rose, and Higgins now with 2 each. Corey will come out with 2:26 to go in the half. Back out of the ball game as well as Kyle Butt. And back in is Joe Hitbus. Gus Maines to the free throw line. Missed the one and only that he's going to get. 2:21 to go here in the first half of action. Stick around. Chuck Friedman is going to be our halftime guest, the new sports director over there at KFIZ. Talking to him a little bit about a few things that he's been doing. Left side sidewalk, Drew Diener going to take the hanging jackknife J from 3-land, and it's gone.
Oh, another rainbow shot there. The man in his face had to put a little bit more arc on it, but nothing but net, as they say.
Well, he had to change that shot in mid-stride, Mike. Real tough job to hit right there, Drew Diener. 24-11. 140 in the half. Coming off in the lane.
Nice
blocked by Jekyll. Rebound underneath the Matt Weinberg, and then he is fouled.
I think they might have got Dallas Diener on this.
Might be Drew Diener because he's coming over like, nope, they got Dallas. You're right. His first. And Weinberg to the free throw line.
Call Insurance of Fond du Lac is your independent insurance agent. Whether your needs are auto, life, home, or health, Bob Call can help. Because he works for himself, he works harder for you. Give him a call at 923-4020.
Matt Weinberg hits a pair, and it's a 24-13 basketball game. Diener, kick out high from Casey Jekyll. Rolled, but Maines stayed right with him. Schrum, circle high right side. Reloaded, Koenigs around for Dallas. Little Texas, skip pass, back out shot outside. Denny Schrum, swing it back off. Little Texas, tray ball there will not go. Schrum chases it down. Reloads to Koenigs, right back to the Strummer. Left side, here's Drew, turning, fall. My God! Well, he has shown us
He's hit about every imaginable position that he is to throw something up and have it go.
Well,
And he hasn't hit the rim yet tonight.
He's kind of showing us a little bit of a clinic, shooting clinic thus far, isn't he? Flashing through on the baseline is Brian Bauer fouled.
Well, we saw part of that clinic last night. He really got warmed up to have an outstanding weekend. 20 points in the first half. He had 2 field goals only in the second half, but those were only 2 shots he attempted in the second half. In a game.
Well, the Cardinals getting into their bench a little bit here now, Mike, as Brad Reinke, the 6'3" junior, is off the pipes and into the ball game as Dan Schrum has picked up his second.
That's one thing when you come to the game here and some of these guys maybe 7, 8, 9 down the bench and you see these pair of officials walk out, you think, yeah, hey, I'm going to get some playing time tonight.
Yeah. You better warm up good, right? And the rebound cleared by Hitpus and another foul inside. Got Trudiner? No. They got Reinke.
Reinke, right.
His first.
And they're already into double bonus here.
Goodness. 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Fond du Lac Mosaic Tile Company. Ceramic and quarry, tile, slate, and marble. All installed by our professional craftsmen since 1948. Fond du Lac Mosaic Tile Company at 922-2910.
Ryan Bauer missing a pair.
Cardinals will a job here in the quarter on the boards, out rebounding Lightning 9-3.
Koenig, the Jackal on the near side sidewalk.
Cardinals are going to look for one right here. Just moments ago, it was a 2-point game, and now the Cardinals quickly up by 12 again.
Right side, Trudiner coming off the low stack. Comes around outside. He's going to stop and pop from 3. That one won't drop. Dallas drive, outlet pass out to Mace. 4 seconds, I got time here. Running one-hander, no! Rebound tapped around. That'll be the end of the first half of action. Our score here, your KFC score here at halftime. The Fond du Lac Cardinals 26, the Appleton North Lightning 14. Halftime today brought to you in part by Baker's String Cheese, available in fine food stores everywhere. The award-winning Baker's String Cheese. And by First Star Bank. Depend on us for all your banking needs. That's First Star Bank. And brought to you in part by KFC. Now featuring home delivery. Take the hassle out of mealtime. Call 921-5440. That's KFC. Mike and I will be back with the halftime stats and scoring. And we'll have the interview, of course, with Chuck Friedman right after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal Basketball Report.
Right now, special halftime guest is the voice of KFIZ Radio Sports, Chuck Friedman, and Chuck, newcomer to the group around here. And I guess first of all, I got to ask you how you joined the city of Fond du Lac and the surrounding area sports monopoly here, if you want to call it.
Well, I'll tell you, it's great. It's a great sports town, and you know, this is one of the better small towns in Wisconsin as far as high school sports. I mean, the way people support the Cardinals, Springs, WLA, and the surrounding communities like North Fond du Lac, Elmira, Laconia. It's just a great area to do sports. And you know, I did sports in Watertown when I was working in Milwaukee, and I'd commute to Watertown and do a high school play-by-play. And I enjoyed it there, and I enjoy it here. It's just a fun time.
That was a great town too for sports, of course. Watertown with Eli Krogan formerly over there at the reins of the basketball team.
Yeah, in the last 2 years, having a chance to go to state. 2 years ago, a team that wasn't that good, making it to the state championship game before losing to Milwaukee King, and then last year making it to the Final Four before losing to Dick's team, Dick's brother's team, Tom Diener, Milwaukee Vincent. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, but you know, I'm hoping that we can make it to state here in Fond du Lac. You know, I mean, I'll tell you what, the next 2 years are going to look awfully good here for this Cardinal team.
Well, not only with the Cardinals, but a couple other teams from the surrounding area as well. Chuck, you had a real opportunity here a couple of weeks ago, of course, to go down to New Orleans there with the Green Bay Packers and feedback some reports for your afternoon talk show and also for the morning sports and what have you. Had to be the experience of a lifetime, set aside being up there in the broadcast booth and actually calling the play-by-play.
Yeah, you know, I've had a lot of chance. I've been very fortunate in my broadcast career to cover 4 or 5 World Series, All-Star games, and a lot of different things. I do a lot of freelance stuff for a lot of radio networks. I had an opportunity to do a lot of stuff like that. But I'll tell you what, to see the Green Bay Packers, a team I've covered for 15 years, in the Super Bowl, in the grand game of sports, was a great opportunity. And going down there, and we had a chance on our sports talk show, which is on from 3 to 4, Monday through Fridays on KFIZ. I'll get that plug in there, Dave. We had a chance, Tom Jackson, Leslie Visser, and all that, and had a chance to talk to a lot of people, and it was just a great atmosphere. Anybody who ever has a chance to go down, if the Packers ever have a chance to go down to a Super Bowl again, and if you have a chance to go down there, I'd recommend anybody to go down there, and because it's just a good time. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I know back in 1993, I bypassed the chance to go to the Rose Bowl. I was saying to myself, well, all the Badgers...
They'll go again.
They'll go again, yeah. Well, little did I know that a Hall of Fame Bowl would be the next bowl appearance for the team would make, and aside from this one, what did they make this last bowl?
Copper Bowl.
Copper Bowl, Alamo Bowl, Independence Bowl, it didn't matter to me. But I blew a chance to go to the Rose Bowl, so I said I'm going to go to the Super Bowl, and we covered the Super Bowl, and we did a good job doing it, and, hopefully we can come back and do it next year.
You talked about your sports talk show, and for those of you who have not heard Chuck on the sports line, they call it, from 3 until about 3:10, actually, until 4 o'clock on weekdays. You do an excellent job with that thing, and right before the Super Bowl, I heard some interviews. Well, Fritz Scherber you had on, just some very interesting things, some very interesting people to talk to.
Yeah, we get a chance to, from doing this for a while, I've, met a lot of people, and you get to make a lot of contacts, and, that's one of the things when I came up here to KFIZ, they said, I want you to implement the same sort of thing that, you did when you worked in Milwaukee, and I was able to do that. Friday we had Gene Cady talking about having to come up and play Wisconsin. We had Gene Cady on Thursday or Friday. So, that's the theme of the show. And plus, keep it local.
Don't you wish you could have him on after today's game?
Well, ironically, Dave, Gene Cady's a real nice guy. You see him on TV, and you see him, grunting and groaning and, making all sorts of faces and hollering at officials. But I'll tell you what, he's just a nice guy. And Judd Heathcote from Michigan State was another type of guy. Same way. You see Dick Diener. You see Coach Diener out there hollering on the sidelines and all that. But that's all. These guys, you get them away from the court, and, they're great guys. Bobby Knight might be the lone exception to that.
Chuck Friedman, who's the voice of KFIZ Sports AM 1450, and thanks for being around with us here at halftime. I got to tell you that the guys at KFIZ told us to use an older camera here tonight. Because they were afraid that we might break the lens bringing you on, so just so you know that.
Well, I took a shower. I remembered I was going to be on. I took a shower before I came on today, so it was the first time in 6 days I had.
Well,
so
that's good.
Take care of your voice. Your voice is going there.
Well, we had a couple of very exciting games in the last 2 days.
What are we going to be doing once the end of March comes around?
Resting.
You need to give your voice a rest. By the way, good game that you guys had last night, and Laconia North Fond du Lac, and North Fond du Lac just keeps on rolling. North Fond du Lac Markers and Laconia also in a first-place tie with those two other teams, but North Fond du Lac keeps on. Well, that's another team I think people forget about in this area. North Fond du Lac is coming on strong now, and who knows, we might see them down in Madison.
Chuck, thanks very much for being with us here at halftime. We're going to be right back with the halftime stats, so look at the scoring right after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball report.
Basketball, 3 turnovers only in the first frame and 7 for North. Quickly, our scoring leaders. Do you have scoring leaders in? I don't know if you had those. Did you put some in? Okay, yes, you do. Drew Diener leading the way for Fond du Lac with 10, Jaco with 8, and Brown leads the way for the Lightning with 5. And our stats, as always, brought to you by First Star Bank of Fond du Lac. Depend on us for all your banking needs. That's First Star Bank.
As we start the second half of action with the Cardinals inbounding, now moving from right to left on your television screen. Higgins comes off here to Andy Rose. He should be well rested. Rose, free throw line jumper on the way, short off the front of the rim. Moline tried. It's safe from going OB, back into the hands of Joe Hitpus. So back up court now comes Ryan Brown. Brown off on the right side to Wunderlich, out hole high as they come off here to Joe Hitpus. Left side, Brown once again. Ryan Brown coming off into the lane is Gus Maves. Reloading the basketball to Wunderlich. Wunderlich at the high post. Splits it off here to Hitpus out of the coffin corner. They come to Brown. Coming around the pick is Maves. Now Hitpus out hole high. Well, cannot hit the shot. And Andy Rose, the Swan, goes up to get it. Higgins will bring it back up court. Corey Higgins Left side to the mallet. Casey Jekyll now hole high to Rose. Higgins once again. Corey Higgins as he yo-yos the dribble. And I'll tell you, Fond du Lac has had to work in this basketball game. Defense by Appleton North has been pretty doggone tough. Anytime you hold a team like the Cardinals in the 20s and in a half, you've done a pretty good job. And Drew Diener, who had 10 at halftime, opens up the second half with a big 2.
Well, he's continuing right where he was in the last night's game, as I said. He's been the main cog offensively for the Fond du Lac Cardinals in the last 2 games. Whistle. And got a foul. It's going against Andy Rose. It's going to be his third, and he has had nothing but foul problems. And Rose again will quickly go. Nope, check that. It's going to be Andy Moline going out, but Rose now with 3 personal fouls.
Didn't call it on Rose, they called it on Moline.
Oh, okay.
Moline with his third.
Well, either way it was 3. I thought they had signaled.
Didn't call it on Rose, Andy
I read
Moline.
his fingers wrong. I thought it was a 3-2, but it was a 3-4.
And the running one-hander off of the baseline here is gone by Ryan Brown. Brown with his 7th point of the game. Rose. Ray Loads here for Schrum. On the right side, here's Drew Diener. Higgins now to the left side sidewalk. Higgins underneath gets hammered. And we'll go to the free throw line. He was in the process of shooting, so he should be going to the line. We'll have to wait and see. Foul is going to be called on Ryan Brown.
I think they're going to call this. I think they're going to call it on the floor, Dave, and they'll be inbounding the ball.
So they will not shoot this. The looping feed into Casey Jekyll. Danny Schrum. Round to the right side as it comes off to Casey Jekyll. Higgins now, hole high between the 2 rings. Swing it there for Andy Rose. Schrum now going to take the tray ball and hit it. Well, I tell you, in the last couple of weeks, Mike, Danny Schrum has become a 3-point weapon as well for the Fond du Lac Cards.
Well, he's become a weapon all the way around. He has really been playing well in that number 6 role, number 6 man.
And Brown just dribbled the ball on the baseline. They missed it. He got away with it. He takes the baseline, goes in, and gets the bank jumper. His 9th of the game, 31-18.
Well, Cardinals there not doing a good job defensively there as fouled here. But they allowed that baseline. He should be able to cut that off and not be giving him that inside position there. Adam Wunderlich is going to get the foul here for the Lightning. Trying to take the ball away from Corey Higgins.
For Wunderlich, that's his 3rd. And the 2nd team. Pressure applied. They get it in here to Rose. Comes back across the timeline to Drew Diener. Diener going to take the baseline, dumps it back out here. Casey Jekyll, bank jumper, got it. The Jackal with his 10th point of the basketball game. Boy, he has just had a whale of a season, Mike, and in my opinion, certainly a candidate for all conference.
Well, I think you've got, obviously you have one for sure, Diener. I think Jekyll as well as Rose are candidates.
Yes. But I'd put my vote in for him. Running one-hander and down deep into the lane by Ryan Brown. Boy, he's got 6 here in the quarter.
And the Lightning now have hit on 3 consecutive shots, 3 of 4 in the quarter.
And they are back to within 13. Danny Schrum to the right side. We're under 4 minutes here. Looping feed down low, Andy Rose. Well, maybe that'll get the lid off for him, Mike.
Right. The Cardinals likewise here in the quarter now. 4 consecutive shots, 4 of 5 overall. So offensively, we've heated up here once we got to the second half of action.
Wunderlich. They come here for hitless. Gus Maves down low.
Now Rose is going to get the foul.
And Drew Diener says what? And that's going to be 3 on Rose.
And we'll see, Dick Diener's got a decision to make right here, whether he chooses it up. Dallas is going to come in.
Yeah, Little Texas is up off the pines, and Andy Rose will have to put the seatbelts on. 35-20. And it would have appeared as though maybe we're just getting him warmed up. Mapes way downtown.
Each team now has connected on 3 threes in this basketball game. 3:18 to go in the third quarter of action.
Corey Higgins will come up across the timeline. Here's Dallas Diener now out between the two rings. Schrum swinging off onto the right side for Little Texas. Higgins to Dan Schrum once again. 2:59 remaining here in the third quarter. Hole high. Here's Dallas Diener trying to go down the lane. What are they going to call?
Oh, Bill Miller and the coaching staff flies off the bench.
Matt Weinberg is called for the personal foul. And Hippus now comes to the sideline, and Kyle Butt is back into the basketball game. That is the third team foul. Casey Jekyll, Higgins, got foul! And Kyle Butt will get the personal foul.
Jekyll kind of hangs in there, that one-handed baby skyhook. Nice soft touch. He takes it off the glass and it goes.
Casey with his 12th point, make it 13 on the basketball game as he rings up the three-point play. And back up court comes Ryan Brown to Gus Mames on the left side sidewalk. Up high, posted, thrown away.
No, they're saying
Oh,
the ball's kicked by one of the Cardinals, deflected, which will send it back to the Lightning inbound.
And the final act not complaining about it, so
No, that was the right call.
Yeah.
It was.
Brown off of the baseline shot there by Matt Weinberg would knock it down. Rebound tipped from Jekyll into the hands of Corey Higgins. Danny Schrum. Higgins. Schrum, left side sidewalk. Dan getting a lot of playing time here tonight. Little Texas to Higgins, running one-hander, gets hammered. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that one I'm going to agree with.
Well, he also got hammered from behind, which actually came before the offensive foul. And Higgins now has his third.
That one I couldn't argue about. I think that was probably the right call.
Well, the only question I'd have watching here, Mike, I believe that he maybe gets hammered before the offensive foul. I guess not.
Nope.
So Maves will bring it back up. Third team foul on the Cardinals, and who now have 3 people saddled with 3 fouls. Kyle Butt. Down low. Tough shot. Put down there by Brian Bauer.
Well, good give and go. Bauer gets the ball at the high post and then kicks it out to the base, to the free throw line extended, and just slides down on the give and go, gets it right back and for the easy position in.
Mike Koenigs, who's into the ball game, replacing Corey Higgins. And Drew Diener will let fly on a tray, and he hit it. His 15th point of the basketball game.
Cardinals have connected on 6 straight field goal attempts, a pair of them being of the three-point variety.
And Maves is back up court. Near side to Weinberg. Here's Brian Brown, stolen away by the Strummer.
That shot overplaying right there.
Danny Schrum with the pickoff. Here's Jekyll's shot. Blocked it out of bounds. So we'll go back here, though, to the final act cards.
Here's at halftime, we had a young man here earn himself a little bicycle on the halftime half-court shot, sponsored by KFIZ Radio. Won himself a bike by, I believe the name, if I heard it right over the PA system, I think it was Matt Schumacher. Heaved it one-handed from the center court line and got it to go.
Drew D with a, did they call it a tray or not? It's a 2.
Cardinals red hot here in the quarter now. 7 for 8 from the field.
1 minute remaining here in the quarter. And let me tell you, Mike, that was no little bike.
No, that's a nice mountain bike.
That was, yes.
You know, Lightning out here standing like they want to play for one shot. When you're down by, what, 18 points, you got to get your offense in gear.
Cardinal defense has been tough as well. We talked about the Lightning defense, but the Cardinals have played extremely well. Bauer with a turnaround bank jumper off the low post. 43-27, your KFC score. Little Texas comes out to Schrum. And now Casey Jekyll. The Jackal to Koenig's. Swing between the two rings to Little Texas once again.
Cardinals looking for one inside of 10 seconds.
8 seconds now. Here's Drew Diener. Diener down to Dallas, and he feeds underneath to Dan Schrum. Can't hit the reverse layup, and that is going to be the end of 3 quarters of play. Your KFC score after 3 is the Fond du Lac Cardinals 43 and the North Lightning 27. Mike and I'll be back after this.
Fourth quarter tip-off. Quickly a glance at the third quarter stats. The Lightning warming up, shooting 75% in the quarter, 6 for 8, 1 for 2 from three-point line, and they've got to feel pretty good about that. Until you look at the Cardinal stats, 78% from the field, 7 for 9. They were 2 for 2 long range. With all the good shooting, not many rebounds to be had. 2-1 Cardinals, and each team with about 1 turnover in the frame.
Lightning inbounding to start this fourth quarter of action. They're down here by 16 at 43-27. Hidpus looks off to the Coffin corner. Jekyll with a steal, save from good OB. Can't get it into the hands of a Cardinal though. And now they're going to call the foul on Drew Diener. Oh no!
No, this cannot be over and back. It can't be. The ball was tipped out of bounds. No. How could I be all over this call?
Yeah, because
The Cardinals threw it back.
right. There's a change of possession,
Yes.
but the Cardinals are going to get the basketball back.
Oh, wow.
Well, neither coach Mike complaining
Well,
about that.
what they had to be saying is that they had possession prior.
Drew Diener with another try.
When there was a scramble right at the half-court line, they must have said they got possession back at that point, but there's no way I would have thought I was possession.
46-27, and it's almost stolen away again. Underneath, flashing on the baseline. Ryan Brown can't get it down, and Casey Jekyll clears it. They threw the outlet pass at the back of Andy Moline. So the Lightning right back up court with it. Running one-hander won't go. Jekyll again clears it. And so back up court comes Mike Koenig's. Mike Koenig's getting a lot of playing time here tonight.
Well, much the same as last night. As I said, probably played more last night than Corey Higgins did at the point.
And the reach-in foul here will be whistling on Matt Weinberg. Second personal on him. Sunny 97 WFDL with your sportscasters Tom Biolo and Greg Stenzel. They're here tonight, and they want me to tell you to stay tuned to Sunny 97 because they weren't sure exactly what they were going to be doing here now this next week on Tuesday evening. I'm sure they will have the next Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball game for you, though. And that's on Friday night, I believe. 7:40 with the pregame, 8 o'clock all the play-by-play. And Mike Koenig's, the Cardinals just threw it away.
Not Friday, or it might be Saturday. I think they play up at Nina, I believe.
Now they're at Oshkosh West, Mike. When's the 20th?
Well, today.
Count it out for me real quick, will you?
Ball on
Thursday.
must be what, Thursday and Saturday next week? That's what it would be. Nina's Saturday night.
No, Nina's Saturday, yes.
Right.
And Corey Higgins has picked up his 4th personal foul. He just got back on the court. They've whistled him for his 4th. So he'll come right back out of the basketball game with 6:12 to go. At any rate, on Thursday night then it would be, as the Cardinals are at Oshkosh West, and the shot hole high here from Matt Weinberg won't go down. Anyway, Sunny 97 will be on at 7:40 with the pregame show on that one. Moline's tried to save, does save it from going OB, but it's off into the hands of Matt Weinberg. The bounce feed through the paint, stolen away by Mike Koenig's. Ahead they come to Andy Rose. Comes near side to Drew Diener, stops, pops from 10, it's gone. .22 for Drew Diener.
Cardinals now their biggest lead of the game at 21.
And another blocking foul.
They're calling this offensive, I think.
Yes, they did. Well, why did he give us a sign for a blocking foul then? Brian Bauer with his second personal foul.
He uses that sign for about everything. Everything's a block.
Yeah, I guess. Still a common foul, 5:29 remaining in regulation play of this basketball game. And Mike Koenigs will come back up court. Weinberg trying to the wrap around a bad pass here, stolen away in the paint. Babes gonna take it, running one-hander there. No, tap is gone by Adam Wunderlich.
Cardinals here in the quarter, after doing such a good job of taking care of the basketball earlier, have turned the ball over 4 times already here in the fourth quarter while attempting only 2 field goals.
Well, that was the first bucket of the game for Adam Wunderlich. Drew Diener working out between the 2 rings, comes off onto the right side sidewalk here for Dan Schrum. And Diener, you running into a little trouble there?
I'm all tangled up here.
Called the foul here on Joe Hippas. That'll be his first. And should put the Cardinals into the bonus, and it will. Cardinals right now with Schrum, Koenigs, Jekyll, Drew Diener, and Andy Rose. And Casey Jekyll will go to the free throw line, 1 for 1 thus far. Total of 13 points, now make it 14 as he hits the front half.
For custom fabrication of structural or ornamental steel, it's Manowski Welding Corp. And see Manowski for your fire protection needs from industrial to the homeowner. Manowski Welding is at 200 North Main.
Now they're going to call a blocking foul here on Mike Koenigs. Wow. Touchy, touchy. 5th team foul there for Mike. That's his first. 4:36 remaining. Been hard for a number of the kids here tonight to get any kind of a feel for the basketball game because especially Corey Higgins just has not been able to play. Jekyll rebounds the miss. Outlet pass to Koenigs. And Mike Koenigs will bring it back up. Koenigs working between the 2 rings, comes here for Dan Schrum. Schrum now yo-yos the dribble out between the 2 rings, 4:07 to go. Regulation play, 49-29, your KFC scorecards leading it by 20. Been a kind of a case where they've just come out and taken care of business here tonight. Drew Diener won't go. Are they going to shoot 3 on this one?
I'm not sure. He may have, to me it looked like he was right on the inside the line. So I think it's going to be 2, but we'll check it.
That's the 4th personal foul on Brown.
But
the 8th team, Drew Diener to the free throw line.
We'll get another look here. We'll see what Diener pops in. Yeah,
He's gonna
definitely,
shoot 2.
definitely inside by
Okay.
good foot. Drew gets the first. You'll get 1 more.
You know, I mentioned earlier that Appleton North playing some pretty good defense earlier in the basketball game. Well, look what the Cardinals have done. We have 4 minutes to go in the basketball game, and Appleton North with but 29 points here this evening.
Well, that's the one constant. Even from time to time when you struggle offensively, as they did last night for the most part, your defense should be a constant. That's got to be there game in and game out. You lose your shooting touch sometimes, but the defense is just ethics, work hard, move your feet.
Well, they're going to call it on Drew or on Dan Schrum. It's going to be on Drew Diener. That's his first. And be the 6th team foul, so the last time that we won't shoot free throws. And stopping, leaning in is Gus Mays to knock that one down. He's got 8 points. A pair of 3s and 1 deuce. 3:20 to go. Dan Schrum, right side, going to take the baseline, reverse layup. No, tap by Rose, gone.
Andy Rose on the offensive glass, the tip.
His 2nd bucket of the game. Hidpus, swing between the 2 rings for Ludden, running one-hander, no. Reaching in, they'll say, was Dan Strum. Danny Strum with his third personal, 7th team, so I don't know, they might have called this a shooting foul anyway. And we'll see some new people into the basketball game here. Brad Reinke is back in for the Cardinals along with Little Texas. And to the front of the line goes Ludden. He missed the first. But we'll get one more. It was a shooting foul. They'll say missed them both. Rose clears it, 2:59 to go. And Mike, the Cardinals really have done this rather quietly here tonight. Slipped out ahead by 10 to 12 points there in the second quarter. Wasn't as though they were making, you know, huge runs. They've just been very businesslike here tonight. Underneath Brad Reinke, got the shot.
Well, they came out in the second half and just put a nail in the coffin immediately with their third quarter assault of 78% shooting from the field. Just kind of opened up a big gap.
And you get Reinke or Rose?
Reinke's going to be.
That's what it is. Reinke with his second personal. That's the 8th team. Going to be probably a shooting foul anyway. Casey Jekyll will come out.
Ryan Blaine in for the Cardinals, his first action. He's one of the guys that Dick Dieter was talking about that is a real motivator on this team. A guy that doesn't get a lot of playing time but keeps everybody on their toes.
And also 5'9" senior Jake Brando, Mike, is up off the pines.
And he was the other one that Dick was referring to. So
nice that we were speaking of them tonight. And they're going to get some quality minutes. Knocked down a pair. And Nate Stoics is up and in the ball game for Drew Dieter. So Drew will unlace the shoes.
Got another fine effort for him. 2 consecutive nights on the home weekend where he has been just outstanding. He's in a real groove right now.
50 points in a pair of games, Mike. That ain't a bad couple of days' work.
That's okay.
Outside shot by Brad Reinke at tray ball. And there's the other young man that Dick was talking about, Mike, that said he'd been working real hard and looked like he might even move into the starting lineup he's talking about next year. Blocked by Ryan Blaine. Brando ahead for Reinke. Gonna stop, pop the 17-footer short in front of the rim. Rebound away to Ludden. Out ahead they come. Running one-hander here is good by Nick Day, but did they count it?
Yes, they did. Brando gets the foul.
And
you know, another thought here on Drew Dieter Day, 50 points in those 2 games we talked about on Saturday and Friday, Saturday nights. But you know, the impressive thing was, you know, he wasn't sitting taking a lot of shots. We don't have individual shooting stats, but I guarantee you he shot about 70% in these 2 games.
yeah, he really had a nice weekend. Steve Falk is up off the pines and into the basketball game here for the Cardinals. And also in is Sean Bratz, 6'2" senior. Stoics. And Ryan Blaine lost the handle on the basketball. .128 to go. Cardinals leading at your KFC score, 58-36. And impressive job this weekend defensively in both games for the Cardinals. That one honeycombed out. Cleared off the boards by Sean Bratz. And back up comes Jake Brando. Jake coming down the lane, leaves it off on the left side. Ryan Blaine there. Honeycombed around and out again. Rebound off the Falk, and he's fouled. Going to call this foul on John Laws.
All right, two areas Fond du Lac has been very, very efficient tonight. Defensively, obviously, has been outstanding, looking to hold this team under 40 points in the basketball game. Also rebounding, and I guess that's a form of your defense. They've done a great job there, just dominating on the boards throughout the course of this basketball game.
Steve Falk to the free throw line. And he'll find a spot in the scoring column in tomorrow's newspaper. It's the first of two. 59 seconds remaining here at the Redbird Arena. And gets another one. Cardinals will retain at least a tie for the lead in the FBA.
Jerome Allen in for the Cardinals, his first action.
Right side sidewalk view. Off of the baseline shot, won't drop and get another foul. Well, they're going to call this one the other way. It's going to go on Scott Dario. Scott Dario, and we'll have to go back down to the other end and shoot some more free throws. You know, oddly enough, Mike, the Cardinals really, you know what makes you believe that they snuck away quietly with the win here tonight, as Jake Brando
banks it off the glass in. All the day's work.
And could not get the second one to go. 61-36, 42 seconds remaining. What makes you think that the Cardinals built that lead up rather quietly here tonight? Bill Miller did not take a timeout in this game. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was not a time taken by Appleton East or Fond du Lac, I don't believe.
No, I don't. You think you might be right in that, David?
Turnaround jump shot off of the baseline. No, so there really weren't any big runs in the basketball game. Tapped back in by Nick Day.
But when Fond du Lac went on their run in the third quarter, and that was the quarter where Lightning also were hot. They were 6 for 8, so, you know, it was just matching it up.
Nate Stoics with his first bucket. It's stolen away by Sean Bratz, but that's going to be the end of the basketball game. And our final KFC score here, good job, nice weekend, period, for the Fond du Lac Cardinal defense. They hold the East Patriots to 40 points on Friday night. The North Lightning get but 38 here tonight. Your final KFC score, the Fond du Lac Cardinals 63, the North Lightning 38. Back to wrap it for you after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal Basketball Report. KFC score, Fond du Lac Cardinals 63 and the Appleton North Lightning 38. Mike, I didn't know what to expect coming into the gym here tonight. The Cardinals really struggled offensively last night against a good Appleton East team. Appleton North, one of those kind of dangerous ball clubs, hanging around the mid-range of the conference. And as I said, they would have liked nothing better than to knock off one of the top teams in the conference, put a real feather in their cap. The Cardinals very quietly went about their business here tonight. Played maybe one of their best defensive games of the season, a complete defensive game, holding the North Lightning at just 38 points.
Well, Dave, my thought coming this basketball game was that the Cardinals would come out smoking. I really thought that this would be a game. I thought they would realize they didn't play particularly well in last night's game, and I'm sure the coaching staff, if they didn't realize it, I'm sure it was relayed to them in no uncertain terms. But they came back and played pretty well. They shot the basketball extremely well overall as a team here, 58% for the game, and did a great job defensively, as you said, rebounding. They doubled them up on the boards, took care of the basketball for the most part. So, you know, for all facets of the game tonight, Fond du Lac rebounded off of a subpar performance for them last night against the Patriots. Bounced back with a good win and a pair of wins here on the weekend.
You know, I really thought they had to fight through an awful lot of adversity in this basketball game because they had so many people that were sent to the bench in foul trouble at given points of the game. Andy Rose, I don't believe really ever got a feel for the basketball game out here tonight. He picked up 2 in the first quarter, then comes back in the second, picks up his third rather early, and got his 4th in the third quarter. Really never got a feel for the game. Same with Andy Moline. When Andy was in there, Moline was playing extremely well.
But it was tough then for the people who were on the court because you did not have a solid 5 in there. They were constantly changing on you because of the foul situation.
Well, I'll throw another one in that category is Corey Higgins, who he was in and out, basically because of foul trouble. So he likewise in that same situation. But I'm not going to say that was detrimental to Fond du Lac any more so than it was for the Lightning because they played under the same conditions. The officiating, maybe not the way we like to see it.
I'm not talking about it. I'm just saying that the team had to play through that adversity.
But both teams had to. I mean, I don't think that's a real cause right there because the situation was identical. They had a lot of people in foul trouble that were in and out the same way. It's just a case where in this given game, once things started to unfold, the better team came out, and as they say, the cream always rises to the top.
Well, what a weekend for Drew Diener. I don't know if he was as quiet about scoring the 26 points on Friday night or not.
No, because nobody else was scoring.
Nobody else was scoring. But tonight that seemed like a rather quiet 24, although there was one little stretch in there in the second quarter when he was really putting on a shooting clinic, shooting from all different positions and then different angles of the bucket.
Well, I can't say enough how I think that Drew has really developed. He was a fine player last year, don't get me wrong, but he has become an outstanding player. As a junior, he's got a senior year left here yet. He has, you can tell he's worked so hard on his game, and I know he works during the offseason extremely hard with the basketball, and his ability to shoot under adversity. We talked about that tonight. Guys in his face, shooting from awkward positions. He's really become the complete basketball player now. Not playing as much at that guard spot. They've got him playing more on a wing, and I think that enables him to do a few more things. And I think his ability to pick maybe finer shots and not maybe force as many shots as he had in the past. His shooting percentage is outstanding. I'd be curious to know what it is on the season. I'm sure we can find that out maybe before next week, but it's got to be very, very good because his quality of shot has been great this year.
And if there's one person who's becoming ever steady on this Cardinal basketball team, I mean, is always right in there with that 10 to 14, 16-point range scoring-wise, it is Casey Jekyll. And Casey coming in with 14 points here again tonight has become a very, very steady performer for the Fond du Lac Cardinals.
Yeah, Jekyll was huge last night. We struggled all night long trying to find somebody that would pick up a piece of the action for Diener to help him out a little bit. And Jekyll was the guy last night, and that's really where he first, I think, began this streak. Tonight, as you said, he was very consistent throughout the game. Last night, he had a lot of boards, came away with a few free throws, and then got it going offensively in the fourth quarter. And he was obviously a very key component in last night's win. But along with that, I think Andy Moline has really stepped it up too. He has, over the last few games that we've seen him, just been a cog in the middle defensively, coming up with some key boards throughout the course of basketball games. And he seems to do it at the right time of games. He's got the ability to, when you need a key board, he's the guy that comes away with it. If you need a big stop, he comes away with it at the right time. And you might not see him again for 4 or 5 minutes and not even acknowledge he's on the court. But at that critical point, it seems Moline is right there.
Well, what a defensive performance here this weekend for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Holding the Appleton East Patriots to 40 points on Friday night, and they hold the North Lightning to just 38 here on the Saturday. So combined in 2 games of about 39 or so points per game. Wow, that's a heck of a defensive job on the weekend. Mike, we got the final statistics and a look at the score.
Well, first, Dave, I'll tell you what, we're going to take one quick break here. We've got to get one break in here.
We'll be back with the final statistics and the leading scores right after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball game.
Fond du Lac shoots 58%, as we said, in this basketball game overall. 25 for 43. Really got hot in the second half of action, where they were 13 of 18 in the second half of play. They were also 6 for 9 for the game from three-point range. So really had it cooking offensively. They hold the Lightning, however, to 39%, 14 for 36 from the field. Cardinals hit 7 of 9 free throws for 78%. The Lightning 7 of 13 for only 54%. As we mentioned, the Cardinals did a great job also on the boards tonight. 26 to 13, double up the Lightning on the rebound column. 8 turnovers for Fond du Lac, and North with 12. Final scoring leaders for tonight's game. Cardinals are led by Drew Diener once again for a second consecutive night. 24 points tonight, 26 to go last night. A 50-point weekend for Drew Diener. 14 points for Casey Jekyll. And Danny Schramm comes in off the Pines and chips in with 7. Lightning led by Brown with 11 and Maves with 10. Our stats tonight, as always, brought to you by First Star Bank of Fond du Lac.
Depend on us for all your banking needs. That's First Star Bank. Well, Dave, Cardinals go win a doubleheader on the weekend. Friday night, Saturday night, take care of a pair of Appleton teams. Will, now we know for sure, remain at least in a tie for the share of the Fox Valley Association with Kaukauna, depending on their outcome of tonight's game.
You know, the one thing I still find a little bit strange about this evening's game is that the Appleton North coaching staff did not take a timeout in this basketball game in any of those little mini runs that the Fond du Lac Cardinals were making. Didn't change a thing. We had no timeouts in this basketball taken whatsoever. Still managed to get all over commercials that we didn't need a TV timeout. At any rate, we're going to remind you now that we will have high school basketball action coming up for you on Tuesday night, as we'll be over at Winnebago Lutheran Academy, where the Vikings will play host to Greendale Martin Luther. That's a 7:30 start at Winnebago, and we'll have the replay for you beginning at 9:30 on Tuesday night. Then next Friday night, we're going to have girls high school basketball action. As Oshkosh West will be in town, they'll be over here at the Redbird Arena where they'll take on the Fond du Lac Gooders Cardinal Gals. Big winners this afternoon, as a matter of fact, over at Appleton North, as they won in a last-second three-pointer, 42-40. Thanks tonight. Going out okay. We're going to have WIAA regional hockey action next Saturday afternoon. Fond du Lac Cardinals taking on Whitefish Bay, 4 o'clock with a replay. Thanks tonight going out to our video sports crew. They include our two camera people. Up top side has been Matt Bastian. Courtside here tonight has been Nancy Pfeiffer. Man, all the technical. Our technical director, Bob Riley, also with all the electronic graphics with an assist there from Nancy Pfeiffer. Mike Pfeiffer, the stats, statistics, color commentary on the basketball game. Jeff Gerner is our chief technician. For Mike and the rest of the video sports team, I'm Dave Preston, wishing each and every one of you a very pleasant good night, reminding you that this has been a video sports presentation. Thanks for viewing us here on your station for Fond du Lac Cardinal Hoops. Marcus Cable, Channel 7.